All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. And you know what it is. It is week 6 in the books outside of the, Sunday night game. Uh, and man, I'm actually not going to start with football. Nope. I am going to start with something I've seen over this past week that has been on my mind. And, the future of the NBA getting is going to be pretty wild. I'll just speak his name. Victor Wembanyama is completely unfair, man. This is See, when LeBron came in, people were like, "Wow, a 6'8" guy that can essentially play the point, can hold 1 through 5." And we thought, man, this is one of the craziest things we've ever seen. We haven't seen anything like this since Magic Johnson, right? And yeah, sure, that was pretty wild to watch. And to be honest, LeBron James got me into basketball. And then in what was it, 2008 or so, a man by the name of Kevin Durant came onto the scene. He was listed, quote unquote, listed at 6'9". He was probably more 6'10", 6'11-ish, something like that. But he was listed at playing the 2. So he came into college playing the 2, and we looked at that and said, we've never seen anything like this. A guy that's 6'10", almost. I mean, if we being honest now, he probably grew into this, but Kevin Durant is a legitimate 7 feet tall. There's plenty of pictures out there of him next to guys who are listed at 6'11", 7 foot, 7'1". He's basically the same size. So he's a 7-footer. But we never thought we would see a 7-footer with guard skills come into the league. A guy who can hit you between the legs, crossover, who can go, who has all the bags, handle-wise, can pull up from mid-range, pull up from 3, off the dribble, catch and shoot, whatever you need. He can. I mean, Kevin Durant on defense is really not really suited towards holding legitimate guards, but still, we never thought we would see a guy be able to do the things he's doing. And I'm trying to think, but there hasn't really been a lot of that. Paul George, 6'9", whatever, probably close to 7-foot wingspan. Giannis, but Giannis doesn't really have a lot of those same guard skills. He really is like a new age version of a Shaq almost, if you would, where he just kind of like can put his head down and just out strength and out body people with at being 6'11", 250, whatever he is. And we have these unicorn guys. We have Luka, but Luka's not really an athletic marvel or anything. He's just really good at basketball. Jokic, same way. We've got a lot of hoopers, I should say. Just guys that just know how to hoop. And now we're here, to bring it all back around. Victor Wembanyama is 7'5", probably. I know he's listed at 7'4", but he's probably he's probably more like 7'5" than he is 7'4". And he can basically do everything. I'll just start with this. He's bringing the ball up the court. He's 7'5" and he's bringing the ball up the court. If you watch basketball or know anything about basketball, you understand how ridiculous that is. At the center at 7'5". We're not talking about Bam Adebayo at 6'8", bringing the ball up court. No. We're talking about a guy who's 7'5", bringing the ball up court, initiating the offense. I'm flabbergasted, to use some old white people words, by how ridiculous it is. He has guard skills. He can take people off the dribble, one-on-one, straight up. He's posting guys up, making plays out of the post. So passing is great. He can shoot the 3. He did something that I don't think a lot of people understand, how hard it is to, off a screen, on a catch and shoot, he right-handed, falling away left off one foot and hitting jumpers. So imagine that. You in the corner, you come around the screen, off the screen you catch the ball, and just keep drifting left, jump off your left foot, and hit it. Oh, and by the way, he's 7'5". Okay? He's hitting step backs. He's hitting pull-ups. He's hitting all the moves of a guard, and he's 7'5". So on top of all of that, on top of the idea that this guy is out there doing all that, he pulls a move off. One of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. Now, I've always looked at things this way, right? I've been told before that in real life, real, regular humans, even NBA players, right? If you see specifically more leaned like geared towards guys who aren't in the league, if you see somebody jump from outside the paint or from outside the restricted area, right? Well, first let's start here. If you see a human being jump from outside the paint and dunk it and land in the middle of the paint, that's already ridiculous. Just regular humans, right? Not a lot of NBA players aren't just taking off from outside the paint from either corner and punching it. A lot of guys, big specifically, you don't see a lot of guys do what Victor Wembanyama is. And that is outside of this restricted area, outside of the circle, turn around, barely jump, if we being honest, barely jump and dunk over somebody. It's out of pocket. It's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. And it was on Thomas Bryant. If you haven't seen it, the viral clip going around, where he just turns around and dunks. And so the thing that I thought coming into this season was that Victor Wembanyama had the possibility of being one of the best players in the NBA, if not one of the best players of all time. And I honestly think at this point, it's leaning more towards he could be one of the best players we've ever seen with if there's no injuries and he continues to get better year over year. The potential is unlimited. And I know there's a lot of people who maybe look down or worry about how this is supposed to work, but this guy is doing things in the preseason, early preseason NBA games, doing things that we've never seen before. There was a play, I think, against the Thunder. I might have talked about it, or I don't know. I don't remember which game it was, but either way, he has the ball, calls for a screen, passes to the screener, sets a screen, rolls, and the ball handler, as soon as Victor takes a step past the defenders that they were running the screen on, he just throws it up in the air as high as he can. And then Victor just casually, from maybe a step inside the free throw line, just grabs it and punches it in. And it's silly. He's an alien. It's silly. And we're just going to continue. Like I said, if he continues to grow, and you have Pop teaching him the fundamentals, if you just extrapolate his abilities into the future of what he could potentially be, it's one of the scariest players we've ever seen. He's basically Kevin Durant, but 7'5". And honestly, if we be honest, with way better just fundamental defense from a big perspective already. And so the only thing is, people keep saying he needs to put on weight. He needs to put on weight. I don't even necessarily know if he needs to put on a lot of weight. Um, I think he just needs to get stronger, mostly in his core, because you can see there's a lot of times where his balance is just goofy. But he's 19, like he's 7'5" and he's 19. Of course, his balance is going to be awkward and goofy, and there's going to be weird moments where he falls when he shouldn't, or it just looks weird. But there's also going to be moments like what he had, I think it was on Jalen Williams, where he just turns into an amorphous blob and reaches out 8 feet across the paint and rips a guy. Or what he did in the Heat game where he doesn't get necessarily beat off the dribble, but the guy kind of bullies him and he makes him turn to the side. And the dude thought, oh, this is safe. Like, this dude's completely turned around the wrong way. There's no way he can flip his hips and reach across his own body and mine and get to my left hand. It's not possible. Which in most cases, that guy would be correct. There's no way a guy should be able to be turned away from you, reach across his body and your body to your left hand with his right hand and block the shot. But that's what he did. This guy is a bona fide pure alien. There's no other way to say it. It is ridiculous. And if this continues, then the NBA is in trouble, man. And it's just crazy to think that this is where the league has gone, where we just have and it's basically what always was kind of gonna have to happen, or was supposed to happen, was bigger, taller, faster, stronger guys with better skills we're going to take over the league. And that's what we seeing. That's what we seeing. I mean, you got Chet. Chet is the same thing. It's the same thing. He's just 7'1" with the same type of frame. These tall, thin guys with guard skills that can bring the ball up, that can run the point, that can be the ball handler in the pick and roll. And it's we're in an amazing time in the league where you have guys like Jokic, Wemby, Chet. The list goes on and on. Embiid, you can put in there a little bit, except Embiid doesn't usually do it, but he can do it. He could face up. It's better because he's a bigger body and bigger, stronger, faster than everybody. So he's best in the post, just bullying people. But we've seen Embiid do it, turn face up at the 3-point line, at the mid range, and beat people off the dribble just with strength. We got Giannis. You have Giannis still out there, like, and the guy who somewhat started all the positionless basketball stuff, like that era, LeBron James. And we're still in the league. Anthony Davis still out there, guard skills, play the four, play defense. It's an amazing time if you're an NBA fan, and I just wanted to point out how crazy the Wembanyama thing is right now. So, yeah, go NBA. You guys have another future star in your hands for us to enjoy, and I just hope, just build that muscle, especially in your core and your legs, and stay strong, brother, because the league needs an alien in it right now, because, man, is that stuff is it entertaining to watch. His matchup with Chet, I just watched it just now. It's just it's so crazy.